I've spent decades studying success, achievement, and the habits of extraordinary men and women. And one lesson has become clearer to me than almost anything else. Your personality is not something you're born with and stuck with for life. Your personality is something you build. You shape it. You strengthen it. And when you do it intentionally, you create a powerful force that attracts success, respect, influence, and opportunity. A strong and successful personality is one of the greatest competitive advantages you can develop in life. It opens doors. It earns trust. It gives you the confidence to step forward when others hesitate. And the best part is this: every single person watching this right now has the ability to develop it. Let me ask you something. Do people naturally respect you when you walk into a room, or do they overlook you? Do your words carry weight, or do you often feel ignored? And most importantly, do you believe you're becoming the strongest version of yourself? I'd love to hear your honest answer, so take a moment and write it in the comments below. Because the truth is, developing a strong and successful personality is not about being loud, aggressive, or dominating others. That's not strength. Real strength comes from clarity, confidence, discipline, and character. And once you understand this principle, everything in your life begins to change. One of the greatest discoveries in psychology is that your self-concept determines almost everything about your life. Your self-concept is the bundle of beliefs you hold about yourself. Who you think you are, what you believe you deserve, and what you believe you are capable of achieving. If you believe you are confident, capable, and valuable, you act that way. And when you act that way consistently, people respond to you accordingly. But if you secretly doubt yourself, underestimate your abilities, or feel inferior, that also shows up in your behavior. It shows up in your posture, your voice, your decisions, and your willingness to take risks. Your personality, in many ways, is simply your self-concept expressed outwardly. So if you want a stronger personality, the first place to start is not outside, it's inside. You begin by deciding the kind of person you are going to become. Throughout my career, I've worked with thousands of successful individuals, entrepreneurs, executives, leaders, and high achievers. And one thing they all have in common is that they made a clear decision about the person they wanted to be. They didn't drift into a powerful personality. They designed it. And you can do exactly the same thing. Start by asking yourself a simple but powerful question. What kind of person do I admire the most? Think about the individuals you respect deeply. Maybe they are confident. Maybe they are calm under pressure. Maybe they are disciplined, decisive, and reliable. These qualities are not accidents. They are choices repeated every day. One of the most powerful mental exercises I ever learned is called idealization. I want you to imagine that there are no limits on the kind of personality you could develop. If you could design your ideal self, the strongest, most confident, most successful version of you, what would that person look like? How would they speak? How would they handle problems? How would they treat other people? How would they react under pressure? Once you begin thinking this way, something remarkable happens. Your mind begins searching for ways to close the gap between who you are today and who you want to become. And that gap is where growth happens. Now, here's an important truth that most people never fully understand. Confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you build through action. Many people tell me, I'll speak up when I feel more confident, or I'll pursue my goals when I believe in myself more. But the reality works in the opposite direction. You act first, then confidence follows. Every time you do something difficult, every time you speak up when it's uncomfortable, every time you push past fear and take action, you send a powerful message to your subconscious mind. You tell yourself, I am the kind of person who takes action. And slowly, step by step, your personality begins to transform. I've seen this happen countless times. A shy person begins speaking in small meetings, then larger ones. Eventually, they become a confident communicator. A hesitant employee begins taking initiative. They volunteer for responsibility. They start solving problems instead of avoiding them. Over time, they become a leader. What changed? Their personality didn't magically shift overnight. Their actions changed first, and their personality grew stronger as a result. Another critical element of a powerful personality is personal responsibility. Strong individuals do not blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for their situation. They ask a very different question. They ask, what can I do now to improve this situation? This single habit separates powerful personalities from weak ones. Blame makes you powerless. Responsibility makes you powerful. When you accept total responsibility for your life, for your results, your choices, and your future, you take control of your direction. You stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. And that alone builds enormous inner strength. There's another quality that I've observed in every truly successful person I've ever met. They keep their promises, especially the promises they make to themselves. If you say you're going to wake up early, you wake up early. If you say you're going to finish the work, you finish the work. If you say you're going to improve your skills, you follow through. Every kept promise strengthens your self-respect. And self-respect is the backbone of a powerful personality. Without self-respect, confidence collapses. But when you consistently prove to yourself that your word matters, your inner strength begins to grow rapidly. You start trusting yourself. And when you trust yourself, other people begin trusting you too. Now let me share something that may surprise you. A strong personality is not about dominating conversations or overpowering people with your opinions. In fact, some of the most powerful individuals I've met are exceptional listeners. They make people feel heard. They ask thoughtful questions. They show genuine interest in others. And this creates a magnetic effect. People are naturally drawn to individuals who make them feel valued. If you want to strengthen your personality starting today, practice this simple habit. When someone is speaking, give them your full attention. Don't interrupt. Don't prepare your reply while they're talking. Just listen. This small shift instantly elevates your presence and influence. Another principle I've learned over many years is that strong personalities think long-term. Weak personalities chase comfort. Strong personalities pursue growth. Every day, you are faced with a choice between what is easy and what is right. The easy path might be procrastination. The right path might be discipline. The easy path might be avoiding difficult conversations. The right path might be addressing problems directly and respectfully. Each time you choose the path of growth instead of comfort, you strengthen your character. And character is the foundation of a successful personality. People trust character. People respect character. And opportunities naturally flow toward individuals who demonstrate it consistently. Here is another idea that can transform the way people see you. Carry yourself as if your work matters, because it does. Stand up straight. Speak clearly. Look people in the eye. These small physical signals communicate confidence before you even say a word. Your body language tells a story about how you see yourself, and people respond to that story. Now I want you to understand something extremely important. No one is born with a powerful personality. It is developed through thousands of small decisions. Decisions to be disciplined. Decisions to be courageous. Decisions to improve instead of complain. And every one of those decisions builds momentum. In part 2, I'm going to share the deeper psychological habits and daily practices that transform ordinary personalities into truly powerful ones, the same habits used by many of the world's most respected and successful individuals. But before we go further, I want you to reflect on something. What is one trait you believe a strong and successful personality must have? Confidence, discipline, integrity, leadership? Write your answer in the comments below. When I began studying successful people many years ago, I discovered something fascinating. The individuals who developed the strongest and most successful personalities were not necessarily the smartest, the richest, or the most talented when they started. What separated them was the way they trained their minds every single day. Your personality is shaped by your mental habits. The thoughts you repeat, the beliefs you reinforce, and the standards you set for yourself eventually become the way you show up in the world. So if you truly want a strong and successful personality, you must become extremely careful about what you allow into your mind. One of the most powerful habits you can develop is positive self-direction. Throughout the day, you are constantly talking to yourself. Psychologists estimate that we have thousands of internal thoughts every single day. Many people allow those thoughts to be negative, doubtful, or critical. They say things like, "I'm not good enough," or "I'm not ready," or "I could never do that." But here's what I learned after decades of studying high performers. Successful individuals deliberately control their internal dialogue. They replace negative thoughts with constructive quotes. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," they say, "I'll find a way." Instead of saying, "This is too difficult," they say, "This is a challenge that will make me stronger." This shift in language may seem small, but it has enormous consequences. Because the words you repeat internally shape your beliefs, and your beliefs shape your behavior. If you want a powerful personality, start by upgrading the language you use with yourself. Tell yourself, I am confident. Tell yourself, I am capable. Tell yourself, I am becoming stronger every day. At first, it may feel unusual, but repetition builds belief, and belief builds identity. Another key trait of a powerful personality is decisiveness. Weak personalities hesitate constantly. They delay decisions. They wait for perfect conditions that rarely arrive. Strong personalities understand something important. Progress requires decisions. You don't need perfect certainty to move forward. You simply need enough clarity to take the next step. Many successful leaders follow what I call the 70% rule. If they have about 70% of the information they need, they make the decision and move forward. Why? Because action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. If you spend your life waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait forever. Another powerful habit that strengthens your personality is self-discipline. Self-discipline is the ability to do what you should do, when you should do it, whether you feel like it or not. It is the master skill behind success. When you practice self-discipline, you gain control over your impulses, your habits, and your direction. Think about this for a moment. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you strengthen your identity as a capable and reliable person. Every time you keep working when others quit, your character grows stronger. And character is the invisible force behind a powerful personality. Now let me tell you something I've observed repeatedly in the most successful individuals. They are extremely intentional about the people they spend time with. Your personality is strongly influenced by your environment. If you surround yourself with negative individuals who complain, criticize, and avoid responsibility, it becomes very difficult to maintain a strong mindset. But when you spend time with optimistic, ambitious, and disciplined people, something incredible happens. Their attitudes begin influencing yours. Their standards begin raising yours. And your personality begins evolving in that direction. This is why I always recommend that you seek out people who inspire you. Read their books. Listen to their ideas. Learn from their habits. Because the more time you spend around excellence, the more it becomes part of who you are. Another powerful trait that builds a strong personality is emotional control. Now let me be clear. Everyone experiences frustration, disappointment, and stress. That's part of life. But powerful individuals do not allow their emotions to control their behavior. They pause. They think. They respond calmly instead of reacting impulsively. This ability to remain composed under pressure is incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. When people see that you can stay calm in difficult situations, they naturally trust your judgment. They begin seeing you as stable, reliable, and strong. And that perception alone can dramatically increase your influence. One technique that works extremely well is the pause principle. Whenever you feel anger, stress, or frustration rising, pause for a moment before responding. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what is the most intelligent response in this situation? That simple pause can prevent countless mistakes. It also reinforces your identity as someone who is in control. Another essential habit that strengthens personality is continuous learning. Strong personalities are always growing. They are always improving their knowledge, skills, and perspective. Why does this matter? Because knowledge creates confidence. When you understand your field deeply, when you invest time in learning, reading, and improving your abilities, you naturally carry yourself differently. You speak with more clarity. You make better decisions, and people recognize your competence. Competence is one of the fastest ways to earn respect. If you want to develop a truly powerful presence, commit yourself to lifelong learning. Read books. Estudia ideas. Learn from experts. The more you grow intellectually, the stronger your personality becomes. Another important factor in building a successful personality is goal clarity. People with weak personalities often drift through life reacting to circumstances. People with strong personalities move toward clearly defined goals. They know what they want. They know where they are going. And this sense of direction gives them energy, confidence, and persistence. When you have clear goals, your decisions become easier. Your actions become more focused. And your personality begins projecting purpose. Purpose is magnetic. People naturally respect individuals who know where they are going. One exercise I recommend is writing down your goals every morning. Ask yourself, what kind of person must I become to achieve these goals? Because success is not only about what you accomplish, it's about who you become in the process. Now here's something that many people overlook when building a powerful personality: kindness. Some people mistakenly believe that strength means being harsh or intimidating. But the most respected individuals combine strength with kindness. They treat people with respect. They show appreciation. They acknowledge the efforts of others. This combination creates a very powerful effect. When people see that you are both confident and considerate, they feel comfortable around you. They want to work with you. They want to support you. And that dramatically expands your influence. You see, personality is not just about how you see yourself. It's also about how others experience you. And when people feel respected and valued in your presence, they remember it. Let me also share a principle that transformed my own life. Act as if. Act as if you are already the person you want to become. If you want to be confident, act confidently. If you want to be disciplined, act with discipline. If you want to be respected, behave in a way that deserves respect. At first, this may feel uncomfortable, but over time your actions begin shaping your identity. Eventually, what once felt like effort becomes natural, and your personality evolves. You see, personality is not fixed. It is flexible. It grows through deliberate practice, and once you realize that you have the power to shape it intentionally, you gain a tremendous advantage in life. In the final part, I'm going to share the deeper mindset shifts that transform a developing personality into a truly unstoppable one, the principles that allow you to command respect, build influence, and create lasting success in every area of your life. But before we move on, I want you to think about this carefully. Which habit do you believe is the most powerful for building a strong personality, self-discipline, confidence, emotional control, or continuous learning? Write your answer in the comments. By this point, you've probably realized something very important. A strong and successful personality, not about pretending to be someone else. It's about becoming the very best version of who you already are. And that transformation happens through consistent inner growth. Over the years, I've noticed that the people who command the most respect, influence, and success in life share a very specific mindset. They don't see life as something that happens to them. They see life as something they actively shape. This mindset alone separates strong personalities from weak ones. Weak personalities constantly ask, why is this happening to me? Strong personalities ask a much better question, what can I learn from this and how can I use it to grow? Every challenge becomes training. Every difficulty becomes experience. Every failure becomes feedback. And when you adopt this mindset, something remarkable begins to happen. Problems stop feeling like obstacles and start becoming opportunities to strengthen your character. Another defining trait of a powerful personality is persistence. My experience, persistence is one of the rarest and most valuable qualities in the world. Many people start with enthusiasm, but they quit when things become uncomfortable. They abandon their goals when progress slows down. They lose confidence when results don't appear immediately. But strong personalities understand a very simple truth. Success often comes just after the point where most people give up. When you keep going while others stop, you develop an extraordinary level of inner strength. Each time you push forward despite obstacles, you reinforce a powerful belief about yourself. You begin to see yourself as someone who finishes what they start. And that belief becomes part of your personality. Now let me share another idea that can completely transform how people perceive you. Strong personalities take ownership of their standards. They don't wait for someone else to tell them what is acceptable. They set their own expectations for how they work, how they communicate, and how they treat others. For example, you might decide that you will always be punctual. You might decide that you will always complete your work thoroughly. You might decide that you will always speak respectfully, even during disagreements. These standards become part of your personal brand. And over time, people begin associating your name with reliability, discipline, and integrity. This is how reputations are built. Not through grand gestures, but through consistent behavior. Another quality that dramatically strengthens your personality is courage. Courage doesn't mean you never feel fear. In fact, fear is completely normal whenever you attempt something meaningful. Courage simply means moving forward despite that fear. Think about the moments in life that require courage. speaking your ideas in a room full of experienced people, starting a new project when you're unsure of the outcome, standing up for what you believe is right. Every time you take action in one of these moments, your personality grows stronger, your confidence increases, your self-respect expands, and people begin noticing something powerful about you, your willingness to step forward. Now here's a principle that many people overlook when building influence: consistency. Consistency is the multiplier of personality. Anyone can appear confident once. Anyone can show discipline for a short period. But the individuals who truly stand out are the ones who show these qualities every day. Consistency creates trust. When people know what to expect from you, they feel secure working with you. They know that you will follow through. They know that you will remain steady even during challenges. And trust is one of the most valuable forms of influence you can ever earn. Another habit that strengthens your personality is focusing on solutions instead of problems. Weak personalities often become trapped in complaining. They talk endlessly about what went wrong, who caused the issue, why something cannot be fixed. Strong personalities focus on the next step forward. When a problem appears, they immediately begin asking constructive questions. What can we do about it? What is the best solution available right now? What can we improve for next time? This approach instantly changes how people see you. Instead of being someone who spreads negativity, you become someone who creates progress. And people naturally gravitate toward progress makers. Now let me share something that might surprise you. A powerful personality is built not only by how you handle success, but by how you handle criticism. At some point in life, someone will disagree with you. Someone may question your ideas. Someone may even doubt your abilities. Weak personalities react defensively. They argue, they justify, or they become discouraged. Strong personalities do something different. They listen carefully. They evaluate whether the criticism contains useful information, and then they improve. This ability to accept feedback without losing confidence is a sign of deep maturity. It shows that your identity is strong enough to grow. Another powerful principle I want you to remember is this: energy attracts attention. When you bring enthusiasm into your work, conversations, and goals, people notice. Energy communicates belief. It shows that you care about what you're doing. And enthusiasm is incredibly contagious. You've probably experienced this yourself. When someone speaks passionately about an idea or a goal, you naturally become more interested. That energy strengthens your presence. It makes people remember you. And over time, it becomes part of your personality. Now let's talk about one final idea that ties everything together: self-belief. Every powerful personality is built on a foundation of belief. Not blind optimism, but earned confidence. Confidence built through discipline. Confidence built through learning. Confidence built through action. The more promises you keep to yourself, the stronger your belief becomes. The more challenges you overcome, the stronger your belief becomes. The more you grow, improve, and take responsibility for your life, the stronger your belief becomes. And once that belief is firmly established, your personality begins radiating strength naturally. You no longer need to prove yourself constantly. You no longer need approval from everyone around you. You simply focus on becoming better each day. And that quiet confidence becomes incredibly powerful. Let me leave you with this thought. Your personality is one of the most valuable assets you will ever develop. It influences your career, your relationships, your opportunities, and the way the world responds to you. And the beautiful thing is that you are in control of its development. Every decision you make, every habit you practice, every standard you set, all of these are shaping the person you are becoming. So starting today, choose growth, choose discipline, choose courage, choose responsibility, and commit to becoming the strongest version of yourself. Now I'd like to hear from you. What is one habit you are going to start practicing today to build a stronger and more successful personality? Write it in the comments below. And if this message helped you think differently about your personal growth, share it with someone who might benefit from it as well. Because the world always needs more individuals who are disciplined, confident, committed to becoming better every single day.